It's not the heat, it's the humidity. We've all heard that phrase, right? Well, as it turns out, it's both, and it's called the heat index. It all has to do with sweat. When the body gets too hot, we sweat to cool ourselves off. Beads of sweat form, then evaporate off of your skin, which takes the heat with it. But when it's more humid outside, sweat has a harder time evaporating. If the sweat can't evaporate, the body can't regulate its temperature, which means you can't stay cool. Because of this, the temperature of the air might feel warmer to you because of the humidity. This is the heat index. The more humid it is outside, the hotter it feels. While the equation to calculate heat index is complicated, the concept is pretty simple. The heat index is what it feels like in the shade. So if you're in direct sunlight, you can expect it to feel up to 15 degrees hotter.
All right, everyone, there was our first viewing of the First Warning Weather University video that David and our very talented producer, Eric Hermanson, put together, talking about what the heat index is.
Yeah, and his idea to spell out the whole formula over my head, which is, you know, terrifyingly complicated.
So elaborate, yeah.
For what seems like a simple thing, but a lot of science goes into this, and you know, it all has to do with sweat, which is sort of a weird thing to talk about sometimes. But you know, when the air is really dry around your face, that means if you do sweat, if you go for a jog on a dry day, that sweat evaporates into the dry air around you very easily. And evaporation, whether it's on your face or you know just in nature somewhere, it's a cooling process. So when sweat evaporates off of your skin and disappears, it literally takes the heat from your cheek and puts it out into the air, so it cools off your skin and puts that heat somewhere else. So that's on a dry day, but when it's humid out there, the air might be, you know, 95 or 100% humidity around you, so that means the sweat doesn't want to evaporate because it's already so moist around you. There's nothing giving it an incentive to take that heat off of you and evaporate. So you know this if you've gone, you know, jogging outside when it's humid like today. You just sweat and you stay sweaty. If you run on a dry day, it feels like you're not sweating. You are. It's just evaporating off of you, so you don't have to wipe your face as much. But yeah, on a day like today with the low clouds and the humidity, probably, what, up around 90%, I would bet, 85%.
Wow.
That's when you sweat and it does not evaporate off of you. So sweat is a cooling process. It's like your body's air conditioning. It's trying to cool you off, but on a humid day like this, it's just not able to.
All right, everyone, if you're watching us, we're talking about what the heat index is exactly for our First Warning Weather University live lesson. We've done these for the past few weeks, almost a couple of months now at this point.
Yeah.
Trying to provide a little extra education for all the students who are still at home at the moment.
That's right, and I think we might be taking a pause after this one, but coming back for a couple summer school sessions.
Right.
So kids and parents out there, not going on next week, but of course we'll keep you posted as we do a few more. And you can always find them on the website too, as we always talk about.
For sure. Before we show that video one more time, I will say that we would love to hear from all of you at home if you're watching. Tell us whom you're watching with and where you're watching from, because we'd love to be able to give you a little bit of a shout out this morning if you're joining us for our live stream. So David, one more time, what we'll be watching here in a moment.
That's the best part, is hearing from you guys. And ask a question too if you want to leave it in the comments. One more time, let's talk about what the heat index is and why it feels so awful out there when it's both hot and humid.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity. We've all heard that phrase, right? Well, as it turns out, it's both, and it's called the heat index. It all has to do with sweat. When the body gets too hot, we sweat to cool ourselves off. Beads of sweat form, then evaporate off of your skin, which takes the heat with it. But when it's more humid outside, sweat has a harder time evaporating. If the sweat can't evaporate, the body can't regulate its temperature, which means you can't stay cool. Because of this, the temperature of the air might feel warmer to you because of the humidity. This is the heat index. The more humid it is outside, the hotter it feels. While the equation to calculate heat index is complicated, the concept is pretty simple. The heat index is what it feels like in the shade. So if you're in direct sunlight, you can expect it to feel up to 15 degrees hotter.
Hope you all learned something. I certainly did from that video about what the heat index exactly is.
It's that we don't like humidity, right?
Right.
That's what I learned.
Right. I'm from Arkansas, so we know
Yeah.
humidity is a big issue there, especially in the
Sure.
Delta where I'm from. A lot of farmland near there, and it gets so humid during the summers.
Probably even worse than here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This one gives it a run for its money for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're hearing from some of our viewers out there, right?
We are.
Proud to see that some folks are waking up with us. I know it's almost summer, so homeschoolers who are still going, power with you.
We do want to give a few people a shout out that left a comment. Ashley says she's watching from Kyle with her 2 daughters.
Ashley,
Hello,
awesome.
Ashley. Yes, I'm going back through. Esparza says that person is watching from Wichita Falls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Up in
so
the Red
outside
River
of
Valley.
outside of our viewing area.
Cool,
here.
welcome.
Louis watching from Rockdale. Hello, good morning.
Milam County, represent.
Yeah, nice. And Janet says she's watching with her dogs in Oak Hill.
Janet.
We love the company for that.
I wonder
too.
if the dogs learned anything.
Yeah, we would hope so, because they feel it too, I would imagine.
Sure.
Kaylee says she's watching with Zane from Pflugerville. Good morning,
Kaylee and
everybody.
Zane, good morning.
Yeah, David, you got even a compliment, I should say, on your snazzy pink Panthers tie.
Oh, Panthers tie?
I don't know, that's what it said.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It's a fun one.
Yeah, Brittany says she's watching from Round Rock with her 7 and 5-year-olds. Good morning, Brittany.
Cool, good morning.
And Marianne says she's watching from Buda. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And if you guys haven't heard before, you can always go on the website. You don't have to wait for these weekly streams, especially as we put them on pause for the next few weeks. You can go to kxan.com/FWWU, First Warning Weather University, or you can just go to our website, kxan.com, and under the Weather tab, there's actually a little link that says First Warning Weather University. And we've got a bunch of these videos. We just debuted one about what storm chasers do, and that was just published a couple of days ago. So what tornado chasers do, that was very relevant for us on Tuesday when we saw 3 confirmed tornadoes in our area. Why is the sky blue? Why do pipes burst when it freezes? All kinds of topics we've dived into, and you can check them out anytime there on the website.
Easy way to watch. Before we go, I would like to say that we need to talk about the weather coming up this weekend,
Yes.
because there is a severe weather potential.
We do, yeah. And tonight, really, it looks like maybe 10 or 11 p.m. the threat begins, probably exiting by 9 a.m. tomorrow. So it's another overnight risk of storms. That humidity that you're feeling out there is priming the atmosphere. It's kind of juicing up the atmosphere for a heavy rain threat. First of all, we have a severe thunderstorm threat with wind damage that's possible tonight. Second of all, not in that order necessarily, we have a flash flood concern. 1 to 3 inches of rain is a pretty good bet for most of us, and you might see up to 5 inches of rain depending on how this evolves. I know Jim Spencer last night was showing you some of the newest computer models, which are showing maybe lighter totals if these storms race through, and that is possible. That's outcome number 1. Outcome number 2, though, is that these storms kind of collide with other storms, and that sort of creates like a stalling system, sort of like we saw on Tuesday. Those stalling systems overnight in May can lead to dangerous flash flooding. So the official projections that we're still going with as of right now are 1 to 3 inches. With up to 5 inches total. So this is still a fluid situation. The storm is still out near El Paso, so we're still gathering new data on it literally every hour and updating our forecast. So Kristen Curry is in here now. She's got you covered on the noon show on KXAN, and then Jim Spencer here tonight. And of course, we'll have you covered overnight. Anytime there's dangerous weather rolling in, just turn on KXAN and we're probably awake with you.
Yeah, tracking at any point in the day. Well, David, before we go, I want people to know that this, again, might be our last for a little while, doing these streams to provide a little extra education out there for the kids.
That's right, and we're going with the school year. You know, school's almost out for summer, so we're going to put it on pause. You guys can check out the website anytime if you haven't gotten enough, and then we might be back. I think it was July. We were talking about doing a couple more, and maybe we'll come back in the fall. So if you'd like to see us back, if you're sick of us, let us know. We're going to use that feedback. Yeah, and we'll use that to decide how we go forward.
Yeah, for summer school, some extra lessons from us potentially, so we'll see.
That's right.
And again, if you'd like to see more of these videos, they are on our website under the Weather tab, First Warning Weather University. You can see it right there, and there are more than a dozen now that you can watch. Some really cool things. They're really interactive and fun, so they help you learn, I think.
Yeah, and thanks again to my producer, Eric Henriksen, for doing bringing it to life, doing all the visuals and everything.
For sure, so head over there if you'd like to see more. David, thank you for joining us as
Thank you.
always and for providing all these lessons. I think you're a great teacher for the kids, and I think they really learned something from that too.
Thanks, man. Well, I always enjoy your live streams. It's fun to be here with you on Friday, and hopefully I can find an excuse to come back soon.
I hope so too. All right, thank you, David, and thank you all for watching this morning. We do appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, everybody, and stay safe and healthy, and if at all possible, still at home.